Alright, we're back with part 4 of the series of 100% item and boss walkthrough guide of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This time we're going to be going through the 4th section of the game, the Wind area, and try to get pushed onwards towards the end. So I will be back with the first item. Alright, the first item in the 4th area is in the Alive Forest. It is this chest right here, and it contains the Giant's Axe, the Tier 3 axe in the game. Probably one of the best items to get in weapons. Massive attack power. Yeah, even stronger than the Mega Grenade. Alright, the second item that we get is, after Tristan leaves your party, he will give you the Dragon Claw, the thing he's been holding out on us since the end of the Bone Dungeon. It is the Tier 3 Claw in the game. It also can inflict a whole host of status ailments, including Petrification, which is basically instant death. Alright, and in the Great Tree, the first chest we come across is this one, and it contains the Mighty Meteor spell. The second to last spell in the game. It is a wizard spell, it does earth elemental damage, and it is very powerful. Not very useful, but very powerful. Okay, so the boss of the big tree is Ghidorah. Not sure if that's supposed to be a Godzilla reference for Ghidorah. It's basically a chimera. And obviously, like that, and the skeletons are all weak to wind. We, however, have a stronger spell, so once the enemies are taken care of, just throw rocks at it. Rocks from the sky. Unfortunately, neither character we have is weak to wind. He will do that tornado attack quite constantly. We are strong against paralysis, so can't paralyze us, but he can certainly paralyze Kaylee, and that is not fun. But yeah, Meteor with the main character, Arrow with Kaylee, and this guy is really not anything to worry about. You can also use Quake, which is another element neither one of us are protected against, but 230 damage is not really a whole lot to worry about. And there you go. Alright, the next item we can procure is if you talk to this lady in Windia, she will offer to sell you a Cupid Locket for 300 gold. And now we have our final accessory in the game. It actually protects you against confusion. Finally, we are protected from one of the most annoying status ailments in the entirety of the game. Alright, and in this chest in the northwest of Mount Gail, we get the Apollo Helm. A Tier 3 helmet in the game. Doesn't do anything more protection-wise than the Moon Helm, except have a bit higher defense. Still only protects against fire, but it is noticeably heftier on the defense. And the boss of Mount Gail is Dullahan. As usual, Mr. Headless Horseman Man. I don't know if he's... I know the vampires are weak to wind, but no, he apparently is not. I don't know if he has a weakness. But we're just going to drop rocks on his head. And Kaylee's going to attack him with your axe. One of his main things he likes to do is, other than throw his head at you that as a boomerang, is Doom Dance, which will instant kill you. He also likes to put you to sleep. You know, one of the few status ailments your associate party member never really seems to get access to. And Doom Dance might seem like, because it's an instant death spell, that it has low accuracy. It actually does not. It will hit a lot more than it probably should. Kaylee does no cure, so we'll have her do that instead. Well, other than that, this is just a normal mini-boss, no real strategy, except just don't die. One more should do it. Please don't kill her. Oh, of course it did. There we go. Alright, in this chest in Pazuzu's tower, we obtain the Almighty Flare spell. We now have all of the magic in the game. Definitely the most powerful spell we have. It is fire elemental, so some enemies will unfortunately resist it, unlike white, which nobody is resistant to. But yeah, that's all the magic in the game. Alright, next up in Pazuzu's tower, you come across this chest in a lone room, usually surrounded by enemies, but in it we get the Excalibur, the final weapon in the game. And it is actually the strongest weapon in the game, redeeming swords throughout the entirety of the game, because as you see, the axe has 200, 162, 222. So yeah, it is by default your melee weapon of choice, unless you can either petrify the enemy to kill them, or they are weak to axes, like trees. Alright, and the final boss of Pazuzu's tower is, well, if you guessed Pazuzu, then you'd be right. He is weak to wind, I think, as a bird, but it's really Kaylee's best offensive option in any case. And then because Flare just does more damage because of its all-target split damage potency. Get the magic in early. Okay, Kaylee is dying. You know what? I'm gonna have him cheese it with that. There. I did that just in case she died, which she would have. Basically, what it would do is revive her instead. So, you know, basically preemptive life spell. Now, his gimmick is that he has a Psych Shield. What that will do is that will reflect all magic damage sent to him back to you. So, basically, now Flare would kill me if I were to try to use it on him. It would help if I hit with the super-powered weapon that we just got. And after a couple turns, it seems random whether it's 1 or 3... his Psych Shield will go down, and then you'll be able to flare him some more. But yeah, Pazuzu is very strong, has a lot of strong attacks that you really have no defense against. Like, that just does a ton of damage. That's not much you can do about that. It's physical attack. Same with the Sky attack that he did that hit both of us for about 400. You can't be protected against wind at this point. Oh, of course So there's no way to make that do less. But that's really all he has. Thank you for hitting her with that. Kaylee is immune to petrification, which is great. We will get that ability very shortly, but the next party members that we get will not be. One more flare, and then I have to seed. Yeah, cure. And he's gone. That is Pazuzu. And the final item in Pazuzu's tower is after defeating the boss, you get access to the Sky Coins. Now we have all 4 coins in the game. We're still missing 3 items here, which we will get actually very shortly. But we do have all the spells. We're still missing 2 pieces of armor, and we have all the weapons, so we're getting pretty close. Upon being sent back to Fireburg to retrieve the Thunder Rock, you just simply talk to Arian, and he gives you the Thunder Rock. Nothing to it there. Upon arriving back at the back door of Spencer's place, you come across this chest here, which contains the final crest, the Mobius crest. You can't really go without this one, because you definitely need it to reach the next dungeon, so don't miss this chest while you're here. And upon returning to Windia after securing Spencer's place, you talk to Kaylee here, and she will provide you with the Captain Cap, an item that you will need, and do not forget, because I have done so many a time. But that is the final item in the game. We now have everything on our inventory here. Maxed out everything but refreshers, because nobody needs those. Yeah, so all we're missing now is the 2 final pieces of armor. Alright, after going through Captain Mac's ship, you'll eventually reach this room where you finally have happy music, meaning the dungeon is over, there is no boss, but you obtain the Gaia's armor, the final piece of armor, body armor in the game there, and you are now protected against wind and thunder, in addition to sleep, which is amazing, because now we are protected from two of the 3 most debilitating status ailments in the game, in confusion and sleep, you know, things that actually take away your turn. Alright, we are in the final area of the game, Doom Castle. You may recognize this from when we picked up the arrow spell in the previous video there. It's right to the left of where we were. That was a different section of the Focus Tower. But we have here the final red chest in the game, which contains the mighty Aegis Shield. The Aegis Shield is our final shield. It actually protects us from petrification. So now we are completely immune to the 3 big debilitating status ailments in the game. Petrification, sleep, and confusion. We will never not have another turn as long as we live. Actually, as far as I know, you're pretty much immune to almost everything. I don't think there's anything, except for instant death, there's nothing that you don't get immunity to. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the walkthrough here. We have all of the items. We have, you know, all the armor, weapons, spells. We have everything that we can pick up in the game that is a major pickup. The final bit will just be the boss gauntlet of the final remaining bosses in the game, and then the end. So I certainly appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Do please leave a comment below as to what game you'd like to see next, because I'm going to keep trying to do this as much as I can. Obviously, Mystic Quest is a good start because it doesn't have that many items. There's, I mean, what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 basic items, 12 spells, you know, freaking 12 things of armor, 12 weapons. Like, there's not really a whole lot you can miss unless you just don't explore. But yeah, so the next game is probably going to be a bit more complicated and require some more time to do either editing or figuring out where to go to do things there. But there's a couple options that I have, the things that I'm considering. So let me know what you'd like to see. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for being here.